I used a number of different technologies um, whilst constructing and researching and also planning. Um, Firstly, the way that me and my group mostly communicated was we had a group text message, which was actually really good in the end because we could that's how we basically planned everything. Knew how we all knew what we were doing and what we needed to do. We could also send each other pictures if we needed. Say we needed to put a picture on a blog, we could do it. We could send each other one of them by a message. So that really helped. We also had a group message on Facebook, which we didn't use as much because we just used the text message one, but it was there anyway. Another thing we used Facebook for was to get our audience feedback at the end. We basically had a massive group message where we added a load of people and asked them, gave them the link to our video and asked them to comment on what they thought, and this worked really well because we got a lot of feedback. Um, the next thing we used was YouTube. Um, the good thing about this was if we made a group video that we all wanted to put on our blogs, we could easily put it, just go on YouTube and share it onto our own blogs. So that was really good. And on YouTube, we're also able to get feedback on that because people could comment on the video once we'd put it up. The camera we used was a Canon one, which was someone in our groups, and we got on really well with that. It gave really good quality shots, and the sound was also quite good. The only problem we had with that was it did run out of battery on a few occasions, or we ran out of memory space, so we had to keep we had like 3 different memory like SD cards to put in it. We edited our video on Final Cut. That was we used that last year to do our AS ones, so we're all familiar with it. We most of us knew what we were doing. That was good because we were able to change the sound, we were able to change the pictures for our flashbacks, for the flashbacks in our film. We used that to we added like a glow to it, so it was clear that it was a flashback, and that worked very well. To create my poster, I used a number of things. First of all, to edit the actual picture, I used Photoshop, which I had to get help with because I haven't actually done it before. But it was fairly simple. I didn't actually change that much to the picture. I just changed the saturation a bit. For the writing on my poster, I just did that in Microsoft Word and used all the fonts and color fonts from there. I did try to download a font from, I think it was dafont.com, which was the font that you use on the bottom, that you always see on the bottom of a movie poster. But once I did it, I managed to download it and everything. But once I put it on the poster, it didn't look that good. So I just used a font similar to that I found on Microsoft Word. Also for my poster, I used Adobe Fireworks to create the line that goes beneath between the title. I basically used a paintbrush, and that was fairly easy. For editing my own videos that I put on my own blog, I didn't have Final Cut on my computer, so I used iMovie, which is just good. I thought it was a lot easier, it was a lot simple just for making small videos, and I could then put them straight from iMovie onto YouTube, which made it very simple for me. For the double page spread, I use Microsoft Word, but I did it in like a different layout as like a publisher setting, so it's just had the same features as Microsoft Word normally would, but the way that it was all set out made it easier to sort of line text up and access things easier. So that was quite good, and that worked really well because I was able to use sort of shapes and text boxes for that. The only problem I had was I wanted to put all my actual review in two separate columns, but it wouldn't, for some reason it just wouldn't let me do it. So what I did is I just used two separate text boxes, which it was quite difficult to get around originally, but once I'd done it, it looked fine. It looked like they just looked like normal columns anyway. So overall, I used a lot of different technologies, but they're all really easy. Well, not all, but most of them are really easy, and they all worked very well. The only one we had a problem with was the camera, but that just meant waiting around for it to charge sometimes. But that was fine. So um, the technology side of things went very well, I think.